Just one runoff on the Democratic side, and it's for a seat in the United States Senate. That seat, of course, became vacant when President Donald Trump tapped Senator Markwayne Mullin to lead the Department of Homeland Security back in March. Kevin Hern won the Republican primary, and tonight, Democrats choosing their candidate in this one, attorney and nonprofit veteran Jim Priest, against nurse and military spouse N'Kiyla Thomas, a Chickasaw Nation citizen from Ardmore. Thomas is the winner and will face Kevin Hern come November.